Now, I've gone through my fair share of cycling through over 100 handbags. Yes, I know that sounds insane in one sentence. In the past, let's just say 15-ish years. Yes, I know I have issues. The level of self-awareness is like up here. I mean, it would go actually above the camera view, but it's not down here. I know what I'm like. We all have our vices, and I did a whole entire video talking about it, so definitely go check it out after this one. As crazy as that whole entire shenanigan was, it has definitely taught me a lot about quality, functionality, and personal preferences when it comes to handbags. And what's that rule? That Malcolm book where it says 10,000 hours is how you learn a skill and be a master at it. Well, let's just say 100 plus and probably 200 to 300 at this point now for me to speak intelligently about handbags and to have this YouTube channel, at least have the confidence to have this YouTube channel. This is my long-winded explanation to say that I usually know instantly when I unbox a handbag if I'm gonna love it or hate it. Which I also talk about the 10 bags I immediately returned and or let go. So definitely go give that a watch. Now this Chanel, I probably should put down my coffee. Now this Chanel had all the red flags just surrounding it, but I was like, ooh, it's a Chanel, and I haven't bought a Chanel in years. So the buyer's remorse on this particular bag was extremely strong. I actually purchased this bag last year and I never did an unboxing because I was having a full-blown internal battle over this. And no, you should not lose sleep over any handbag because these are all just frivolous, pretty things that we enjoy, but completely unnecessary in our lives. And this is not the original box, but it is the dust bag because I just want to, it looks a little bit better. This is actually a box for another bag I have. Yes, I'm holding out on you. I did purchase another handbag, another Chanel handbag. I'm going to keep blabbing here, but at least I'll show you what I purchased. This is the Chanel 19 in the small size. I know this is an oldie and you all are very familiar with the Chanel 19, but a quick overview for those who are newer to the handbag world and why this is a very special design to Chanel. This was released back in 2019, hence the 19 name, and this was the last design created by Karl Lagerfeld, RIP, in collaboration with Virginie Viard. And it was basically the passing of the torch back in 2019, or I guess really 2018. It was also named for Coco Chanel's birthday on August the 19th. So back in 2019, the puffer bags were all the rage, which really started with the Bottega's pouch bag, if you remember that. The YSL Lulu, the Loewe Puffer Goya, the Louis Vuitton Cousin bag, and of course the Bottega cassette bag. Like everybody was having their own iteration. I think the trend has died down a bit since then, which is why the Chanel 19 prices in the pre-loved market aren't as outrageous anymore. So I've always loved the look of the Chanel 19, but I wasn't loving it enough to spend $5,000, $6,000, whatever, $1,000 on a 19. And I want to say the last time I bought a Chanel bag was back in like Q1 or Q2 of 2022, prior to me starting this YouTube channel. Actually, you know what? I actually bought a walk, but not like actual bag because, a wallet on chain is kind of a bag. So I did purchase one of those since I started this channel. So in any case, I was able to pick up this cutie and I was like so excited. I finally have a Chanel 19 in my collection in this beautiful blue. I was completely in love, immediately wanted to start using this bag. I want to say I used this bag all of maybe 5 or 6, definitely under 10 times. And every single time I used this bag, a chunk of that excitement got stomped out of this bag for me. Everything I hate about handbags is popping up each time I use this Chanel 19. I should have known all of the red flags when I first unboxed or unbagged this bag, but it's like, ooh, we got married, happy joy, etc., etc. And then we go on a honeymoon, ignore all the red flags, etc., etc. And then the reality hits. Let's go over, in my opinion, what I consider red flags when it comes to a handbag. And if you have a Chanel 19 and you love it, I love that for you. And honestly, I do love this bag, but it just doesn't work for my particular lifestyle and my particular preferences. So let's start off with the most, in my opinion, the most offensive red flag about this bag. basically it comes down to the handle and the chain. As beautiful as it is, these two pieces of metal along with some leather around it are so heavy. I would say it is heavier than the rest of the bag itself. And that becomes disproportionate in terms of the weight ratio and how the bag itself is structured, or I guess lack of structure in this case, because it is a very soft and mushy bag. So right now I have the bag stuffed, and that's why it looks very nice and very well structured. Now, if I take out the stuffing, and if you don't really have a whole lot of stuff in here, and then you close the bag, right? It just, let me take out everything because I still have all of the care cards and everything. It becomes kind of a sloppy mess like this. It starts to fold over because there is no structure to this bag. And when the weight is like you're setting it down, because of the weight of the handles, it kind of just slumps it over into this heaping mess. And it's not a beautiful heaping mess. It's kind of a, I just woke up and don't know what I'm doing with my life. I'm gonna get in the car and go to work kind of heaping mess, a hot mess. The amount of times that I have set my bag down, and because the chain was so heavy, first of all, if you are sitting at a restaurant or anywhere with glass tables, or just, it makes so much noise because you're setting it down and it's just all of this metal. It's like conk, 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 conk. And everybody looks at you, and or perhaps it's sliding off the edge of the table, and then of course the metal banging every step of the way as it goes down, which creates a lot of noise. Again, just a very finicky bag that I can't. As much as I love luxury bags and I want to take care of it, but if it's becoming a hassle or something I need to pay attention to, like a little toddler, then it is a complete red flag for me. And the list goes on because to me, yes, I love the design. I love the quote unquote versatility of the long shoulder strap, which is long enough for me to crossbody, which I do enjoy. And the short handle that is considered the top handle, it is not detachable. So if I'm wearing this as a crossbody, this ends up being kind of slumped over like this, and it's also getting caught on the back. Again, I'm well aware these are first world problems. And then if I am wearing this as a top handle, I'm wearing it like this, or I'm just hand holding it, this extremely heavy chain kind of just flops around, and again, it gets in the way because it is so bulky and so heavy that it is just a complete nuisance. When you are wearing this as a crossbody, the leather strap is really nice, and it does help with the padding on your shoulder, whether you wear it as a crossbody or just on the shoulder. But it's still incredibly heavy, and then the bag itself is incredibly lightweight, but once you start putting stuff in there, it does add unnecessary weight to the bag that you do not need to be carrying on your shoulders. Other red flags I do want to point out is because this bag is so not structured. It's mushy, it's soft, it's very pillowy, and I understand the appeal of that. But because there is no structure, it actually ends up being a little bit hard to go on the interior of your bag to look for what you want. It kind of just slumps down and everything falls to the middle, and it's just a heaping mess. Again, that is something I could have dealt with because yes, it is a not structured bag, but with the heavy chain on top of that, that was just a complete deal breaker for me. The size itself is actually perfect because, you know, I could fill it to the brim if I'm traveling, because I don't want to just talk about the cons of this bag. There are some pros. I think the size, like I said, the small size is perfect. And because of the squishiness of the bag, it is a great travel bag that you can bring in your suitcase, your carry-on, or your personal item and just have a dust bag over it. And you don't have to worry about the bulk of a structured bag, even though that's what I prefer when it comes to handbags, to have more structure. But when it's travel bags, a luxury travel bag, this is actually pretty perfect because it does lay pretty flat. I wish there are feet at the bottom, which it unfortunately doesn't have, but I completely understand because this is a more swishy bag. It would be hard for them to have feet. And then if it gets scrunched together, the feet would kind of just fight each other. So that's understandable, even though I do prefer most of my bags to have feet. The back pocket is actually really convenient, and I do love how it's closed by a magnet, and the magnet is pretty strong. So like I said, I don't want to just poo-poo this bag all around. There are some pros to this bag. The leather itself is beautiful. The lamb skin, again, it's a smushy bag, but you would think that there's some wear and tear on the leather. There is none. I've used this, and this was a pre-loved bag from, I think, 2019 or 2020. I'll have to double check the card. 2021, I just looked at the receipt. The person had included the receipt and the care card, or the authentication card. So this one's from 2021, and it's still in, the leather is still in impeccable condition. The hardware is a different story. It looks very, I don't know if it's worn or maybe it's made to look like this, but it looks like it's a little bit worn, at least for the gold metallic part. And then the silver, the chrome silver, I guess is what you call it, is actually pretty fantastic. Now there are three different ones. There's the shiny, there's the gunmetal, and then there's the gold portion to the three, I guess the entire chain kind of loop thing. So if you are thinking of adding this to your collection and the chain does not bother you whatsoever, definitely consider the smaller size. I don't know, I've never really played around with the medium or the large size, but I can't imagine how heavy the chain shoulder straps are going to be if you're dealing with the larger sizes. So if you own the medium, large, or extra large, whatever they call the jumbos, drop a comment down below to let us know what is the chain. Like, is it incredibly heavy, or did they hollow the chain out in newer versions? I'm not the Chanel connoisseur anymore. I'm very well versed with vintage Chanel, but the newer Chanels, that is not my expertise, just because I don't find any interest in keeping up with the newer generation of Chanels. The other one that also has the same issue, it's not really popular anymore, but the Bottega cassette puffer bag with the massive chains was also a very popular one back in the day, but I think it was just the most unfunctional bag for you to use, because I think that chain was even heavier than this one. These are all first world problems, I am well aware, but with that, like, the honeymoon stage was over for me with this bag. It fizzled out so fast, and I am ready to file a divorce. So there you have it. I hope this review was helpful. Yes, we talked about this and it was all the rage back in 2019, the past couple years, and I honestly love the look of this bag, and if they re-released it with a different top handle and a strap, which maybe they did, I don't know, I don't think so, I would consider having another Chanel 19 in my collection, because this puffer look and this is an iconic design, regardless if you like it or hate it, or if you think it's trendy or not. This is the last design by Karl Lagerfeld. It is history, whether you like it or not. Very similar, in my opinion, when Phoebe Philo came out with the Phantom luggage tote for Celine, and that is going to be true and iconic to Celine for the history in the future. Needless to say, I am looking to rehome this bag in a upcoming panic sale, like I usually do, but this time I'm gonna call it anxiety sale, because I actually forgot about this bag. I kind of just, like, selective memory shoved it in my closet for the past, I don't know, 6 to 8 months. And now I'm just like, there's too many bags in my closet. I need to get rid of some of these bags because I'm starting to have repeats. And I have a channel. I want to explore new handbags with you all. As much as I love my collection, and if I were to quit YouTube today, I would keep all the bags, but because you guys love how I'm exploring new brands, new handbags, luxury alternative indie brands, I want to continue doing that for you, and I enjoy doing that for you. So I need to start clearing out some of the bags, not because I want to, but I actually need to, in order to have some sanity in my life and not to have too many handbags in my collection. So definitely do not miss out on that. Hit that subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you're new, drop me a comment so I can welcome you to my channel. And for those of you who are longtime subbies, you know how this go. The panic anxiety sales are always going to be so good at fantastic prices, so you guys get ready. It's going to be good. If you want to get a head start, my second Instagram page, Somehow Adulting 2, is where I will be posting all of the new bags that I will be posting up for sale. Life is hard. I want to help you save time and money so that you can somehow adult easier and hopefully less than retail. I'll see you all next time.